What's going on, everyone? Matthew97657 here. Today we are back with yet another figure unboxing and review. And as the title and thumbnail suggests, this is going to be the Bandai Movie Monster Series Limited special color version. I've heard the term Imagine Colors. I think that's what it was called. Imagine Colors Godzilla 1955 and Anguirus 1955. This is going to be a duo review because they pair up so nicely together. So with that being said, nothing more to it. Then I get on right on into it. And last, you see a big old box here. It's not just the two figures in here. I made a pretty big Godzilla store order from Japan because the Godzilla store United States had not put a lot of their figures up until like the beginning of April. And I was like, of course, I make my Japanese order and then they're starting to put some up. But it's okay. They didn't put all the figures up, so this was definitely a very good purchase. There's about 6 or so figures in here, if I'm correct. Obviously, we're not going to cover all of them right now, but a little bit of a sneak peek, right? So, we'll give you a little bit of a sneak peek. So, there you can see there's a lot of different figures. You can see some pink. You can see a lot of kind of like Godzilla colors of the charcoal gray. But, look at that. So, it looks like all of them are just mumbled up in there. Looks like we have our Godzilla store order. Nothing else within the box. Although it's a bag, we will be getting the ones that I see. And obviously, gonna have to get them out first. So, there's our Anguirus in the bag. And I can already see the Raids Again Godzilla in here as well. Just gotta wiggle it out. Wiggle it out. And so everything else within this big old bubble wrap will be getting its own video. So let's go ahead and keep going. Bandai's aren't too hard to review here. So there is the first unravel and there is the second unravel. And look at this here. So once again, these are special color versions. And the neat thing about these figures is they're not technically reissues, but what was it called? Bandai Toys Dreams Projects, I think it was. Back in about 2006, 5, around then, they had made a box set pretty much with these two in them. I don't think the molds might be the same. I personally don't own that collection piece. I really would like to own it one day, but now that they have these, I feel very satisfied with these here because they're essentially, the same thing, just a modern take on it. So here it is. We have the 55 suit that came out last year, I think. They had a regular 55 suit, and there you go. Godzilla 1955, very awesome. 2024. Is this our first 24? I might be mistaken, but that might be our first 24 we've done on the channel. Let me rethink about that. But just look at it. These type of Bandai Movie Monster Series figures I love. The just translucent mold with the kind of plastic within them. So moving ahead, there is our center of the tag in all Japanese. And then once again, probably says Godzilla Raids Again up top there. And then Bandai Movie Monster Series. But back to the figure. As you can see there is some paint apps within the teeth. A little bit of a paint apps on the eyes. There is a white dot and then the black dot, or the white paint and then the black dot for the eye, right? So very, very cool. But I believe the true showcase of this figure is definitely the translucent body, the kind of like white iceberg color they're kind of going for. Is seen throughout the entire figure. The feet look painted though. We'll get to that in a moment. But you see the very nice glossy paint apps here, that kind of like deep sea blue at the very tip. And then as it goes in towards the center of the figure, it kind of has a light blue coloration. So that's just awesome. I love these type of colorations on these figures. Just a very personal preference of mine that I just love when they do that. So this is definitely a very, very good one to get nonetheless. So that's pretty much Godzilla there. Next up, we do have Anguirus. And I actually don't own too many Anguirus figures. I only own one, which I forgot to get it for my comparisons, but I'll get it here in a little bit. The 55 suit I do not own. So with that, we'll go ahead and just kind of have them on their own, just because I don't really have anything that's fair to compare them with. But just look at the red there on the Anguirus. And I do have my new light as well. It is back. just kind of having the details pop. So it looks like we have the translucency within the mold itself, if we can kind of try and get a little better clear image of that. And then it also kind of seems to go towards like a red paint app to the arm here and to the underbelly. So very cool take. And even on the top here, you can kind of see the translucency there, and then it just kind of shimmers out into the gold there. So very cool. Going on down, we do have some of the brown paint apps on the hands there, and then the rest of the body is pretty much just kind of normal. Very nice shell piece, if you want to call it that, just the spikes. And then going on to the tail, it's a pretty long tail, not gonna lie, pretty long tail, and we don't really have too much articulation on it. We do have some gold paint apps on it, and we just kind of have some spikes leading towards the end of the tail. So Anguirus looks good. We'll go ahead and get to the tag there. So Anguirus, like special version, whatever they're officially calling it. And then once again, raids again. And so, yeah. So, I mean, bam, that's pretty much it for our Bandai figure review. I guess I can touch up on the articulation here since I didn't get a touch up on it. So we have the hands there, and then we have the legs there. A little rough, but it does go all the way around, and then nothing within the tail. So kind of like your standard Bandai stuff, nonetheless. I'm going to go ahead and grab the only Anguirus figure I have, which I believe is from the 68 Destroy All Monsters. Let's see. It's not going to tell me. Actually, this set piece looks like it's from Godzilla vs. Gigan, if I'm being 100% honest. I might be incorrect. This is the 2001 Bandai Movie Monster Series Anguirus figure. And yeah, so just a little bit of a differentiation between the two. Obviously, you can tell immediately in the position they are in. We have kind of like the roaring Anguirus here compared to kind of like the passive, just kind of standing or sitting down, and then the legs there are kind of just like flat compared to here where it's kind of like you still have a little bit of an arch upon the leg. Differentiation in colors is, it's not too far off. I mean, they still have the ideal kind of gold paint schematic. I would say these are probably a little bit more, I want to say richer, in the sense that the colors seem like they're deeper within the figure compared towards the 01. But yeah, I mean, essentially, right, they're going to be two different molds, which is very nice. And unfortunately, I don't have the base mold because I've stopped collecting the base molds because, I mean, they already make enough of these exclusive ones as if. So I figured, I was like, you know what, Matt, let's not go insane here. So I guess I can just pull from here. Let's see. Although it's probably not the best comparison, we'll go ahead and bring out the deep blue, the retro blue color Godzilla from the 54 film that they did a couple years ago. 2019, yeah, 2019. So this is a 54 exclusive Bandai compared to the 55 exclusive Bandai. And once again, in case you did forget, the Anguirus and the Godzilla 55 are pretty much a throwback paint scheme to the Bandai Toys Dreams project, which was a collection box which had the 55 and the 55 Godzilla and Anguirus in a set box. So I'll go ahead and throw an image there if I am not lazy. Put it up there, as you can see, pretty much trying to replicate what it once was. So with that, I guess for the sake of it, we'll go ahead and do the 54 maquette. I really don't think it's that valid. I'm just trying to get as much comparisons as I can because I really don't own that much Raids Again stuff. I mean, this is probably the first Raids Again figures that I have gotten. So it's very cool to have the opportunity to get that because, I mean, Raids Again, I mean, you know, right? So once again, yeah, that's really about it. Just going to have a little bit of an admiration here upon the two. I think they look really, really good. They have the Godzilla, I'm assuming from the movie where I think it's the very end, they encapsulate him in the ice. Anguirus, I am not sure. I haven't seen that movie in a couple years. I'm not sure about the Anguirus with the whole red tempered look, but I definitely do think they're going with the whole encapsulated ice look at the end of the film for Godzilla. So very, very cool. I think these were probably the two figures I was looking forward to the most. That's why I decided to review them first and give them a double review, just because it made sense, right? So with that being said, guys, let me know what you guys think of these two figures. I'd assume they would go on the Godzilla store United States soon enough. I know they started to put some of the stuff they revealed back in November on the shop, but these, as of April 9th, 10th, they haven't gone on the shop just yet, but I assume they will be making their way shortly. So hopefully the review was handy and dandy. So as always, once again, let me know what you guys think of the figures, if you're going to decide to go for it, or if you're going to go ahead and pass on it as well. So I will see you guys within the next review. We've still got like 5 left, so I'll see you guys in the next review. See ya.